Please do tell me more about Upprinting Foods and your 3D printing technology and how this works.
With Upprinting foods, we're 3D printing food from actually products that are normally thrown away. So, for example, in the Netherlands, all bread is mostly wasted products, and next to that, fruit and vegetables are often thrown away. So, what we do is we create a sort of puree from it, and afterwards we print it in beautiful shapes, and then we bake it and deaerate it to make sure that also the shelf life is extended, and then this can be served really nicely in dishes again, and people can eat it again. So this is actually what we do, and currently we really focus on restaurants and that they can do this themselves.
Why food waste in particular? Like, does using food waste differ from, other sorts of food 3D printing technologies for you?
It's the same kind of technology, but we are focusing on food waste because lots of food is wasted, and we want to have like this sustainable vision, reducing food waste, because we think that is actually possible with this kind of technology. So, we focus on this because of the amount of food waste, and I think this kind of the same process, but the difference in the puree we are making and also the process afterwards, the dehydration process. So what we're actually doing, currently we're getting residual food flows from the local supermarket, and then we get what kind of ingredients do we have. We create sort of a puree from it, so we mix bread with fruit and vegetables. We need the bread for the starch component, and bread is just starch, and you need it to gain height in 3D printing. And then afterwards we have when we have a good puree, we can print it. And after printing, we bake it and we dehydrate it to make sure that it becomes crunchy in the end and that it gets a long shelf life. And then we can serve it again.
Have you faced any challenges in terms of consumers being reluctant to maybe accept the product or eat it because of the food waste aspect?
Printing food started as my final bachelor project in industrial design in Eindhoven. And during this project, I also did the user testing, and I focused on the 3D printing experience and not on using those kind of food products. So I was talking and discussing with people how did they experience those printed food products. And in the end, they really quite liked it. They enjoyed the structure, they enjoyed the flavoring. And well, in the end, we just started discussing that it was actually made from those kind of products, from the products like old bananas, which are a little bit brown, even the banana peels we were using, old bread, carrots, things like that. And well, then they were still enjoying this kind of concept because they already enjoyed the flavoring, they enjoyed the taste, and they couldn't say afterwards that it changed. So it was more a sustainable vision. And what we also know currently, people are just looking for sustainable food products and for new innovations in this way. And the aesthetics is really important because, well, for restaurants, they want to differentiate themselves with the food they are printing, so with unique designs. And as well, when printing the food in a beautiful shape, these are products that are normally thrown away most often because they are not beautiful enough. So this way we change the appearance, and well, that really works for people.
How do you see 3D printing evolving further or changing in the F&B industry? And do you see potential for it in, for example, the Asia Pacific region?
I think over there we can also look at restaurants. When we went to the Beijing Design Week in China, we also printed with, for example, cooked rice instead of bread, and also more vegetables and fruit, which are more, from that kind of region. So I think that can be interesting also for developing recipes, but also for chefs to, well, complement this and implement 3D printing in their restaurant. And next to that, we are also currently looking at how can we implement this in, for example, supermarkets. And this is also not only interesting for the Netherlands, but for Asia, this can be interesting as well.
What sort of products are you already printing, or what sort of foods are you already using it within your 3D printing technology?
Currently we are really focused on developing recipes ourselves, so we really like to do this as well. Then we get food from the local supermarkets, and every time we get different kind of products because, well, there are food products that normally aren't sold anymore. So this way we have to be very creative in our recipes as well. So we can print all kinds of breads, fruit and vegetables, so bananas, carrots, beetroot, kale, pumpkin, and we use different kinds of spices and herbs as well. And it's really seasonal dependent actually what we get. So we try to really be creative with this. And also in China, I just mentioned that we also used rice for this and more region-specific vegetables and fruits.